By the end of this video, you will know how to make a perfect PDF sewing template for an A3 paper size. So you can use this template for your digital sewing patterns. This PDF sewing template allows you to print your real size pattern from your home printers. These include creating the pages, creating the borders around the pages, numbering the pages, then saving that template for your future use. After saving the template, I'm going to show you how to use the template for your digital sewing pattern. Finally, saving that pattern as a PDF sewing format so you can print your pattern in a real-size pattern from your home printers. How to make a PDF sewing template for an A3 paper. I'm here in Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to create new, click on it. Then I'm going to print, click on print. After that, I'm going to come down here, click on view all preset. Then next, I'm going to click on A3. After click on A3, I'm going to come over here under preset detail. And I'm going to name it A3 PDF sewing template. Next, I'm going to change from points to inches. I'm going to change this width to 10.69. I'm going just to highlight this number and then type in 10.69. After that, press down the tab key on your keyboard and come to height. Change the height to 15.54. Then portrait. After that, the artboard, I'm going to type in 30 pages of the artboard. And bleed, we want all the value of bleed 0, okay? And color mode, CMYK color, and raster effect, high 300 ppi. And preview mode default. After that, click on more setting. This will bring more setting window, and there are a few things that I want to check. So name, perfect A3 PDF sewing template, number of artboards, 30, and right here, make sure you select grid by row. Right there, if you just hover your mouse over, you will see grid by row. After that, this is important, guys, spacing. We want 0 spacing, okay? Then I'm going to press down the tab key on the keyboard, and the column, I want that to be 5. After that, I'm going to press down the tab key and come down here to make sure the width is 10.69 and the height is 15.54, all in inches. And the orientation is portrait. And right here, you see this bleed? You want all the bleed value equal to 0, okay? Then the color mode, CMYK, and raster effect 300 ppi, and preview mode is default. Next, I'm going to select create document. Okay, we just created the pages for the template. Step 2, I'm going to create the scaling squares for the template. The scaling square which the customer can or you can print the pattern out and then measure the scaling square, make sure they match, okay? So to create the scaling square, I'm going to this layer over here in this panel. Let's name it scaling square. Okay. After that, I'm going to come over here to this rectangular tool, click on one to select, then come back, click one on the page. This will bring this rectangular window and I'm going to type in 1IN and then press down the tab key, type in 1IN again. You can either press OK here or press return or enter on your keyboard to confirm. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so this is 1 inch by 1 inch square box and I'm going to have the fill none and stroke to be 1 point. Okay, to do so I'm going to this black arrow tool, my key selected, and then come over here to fill, click on this none fill right here, then make sure the stroke is 1 point and black color. That's perfect. Next, I'm going to move that square over here to this corner. So let me pan it over a little bit by pressing down space and then left click. Next, I'm going to just hover the mouse over and then you can click and then move it over here. Okay. All right. I'm going to label it 1 inch by 1 inch. To do that, I'm going to this typing tool, click on one to select, then click one on the page, and I'm going to type by 1 and then by 1IN. And I'm going to press escape on the keyboard to get out the text. I'm going to change the size of the font to 14. Okay. And next, I'm going to align the text and the box together. To do so, while the text is selected, I'm going to press down Shift and then press down this line to select both objects together. Next, release the Shift, then press one more time on the box. Then I'm going to, you see this alignment tool, click on horizontal align center. Then come over here, click on vertical align center to align the text to the object. So while both objects are selected, I'm going to press down Command plus letter G to group them together. Okay. After that, I'm going to create another scaling square. This time, I'm going to label it in centimeter. So again, come to this rectangle toolbox, click one to select, click one on the page, and bring this rectangular window. This time, I'm going to type in 2.5 cm. cm is for centimeter, so I'm going to just press down the tab key on my keyboard and I'm going to type in 2.5 cm and I'm going to press down return or enter on the keyboard to confirm. By default, this square is turned black. I'm going to change that to no fill and 1 point stroke on the border. To do that, I'm going to come over here. Make sure this square box is selected, okay? If it's not, you just go to this black arrow tool, click one on the page and then you marquee select that box. And then come over here, select none fill, and then come to stroke. You want black stroke and 1 point stroke. Perfect. So after that, I'm going to again label it 2.5 centimeter square. To do so, I'm going to this typing tool, click on one to select, then come back to the page, click one, and then I'm going to type in 2.5 by 2.5 cm. And I'm going to press down the escape key on the keyboard to escape from the typing tool. After that, I'm going to align both objects together. I'm going to, again, you can use this marquee selection tool, marquee select both of the objects, And next, I'm going to click 1 on this box. See right here, this thick blue line appear. Now I'm safe to go over here and align both objects together. I'm going to select horizontal align center and vertical align center. Now both of the objects align together. Then I'm going to group objects together by Command or Control plus letter G. Next, I'm going to just move them over here a little bit, get kind of organized. After that, I'm going to leave a note for a customer or for you. When you print it out, you must measure that scaling square, make sure that 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters square. Okay, so I'm going to the typing tool, click on 1 to select, then come back over here, click on 1. Click 1 on the page. I'm going to note it. Okay, be sure to measure the 1 inch or the 2.5 centimeter scaling square before cutting the fabric. Okay. Again, I'm going to press down Escape on the keyboard to get out the typing tool. Then I'm going to just adjust it over here so it looks better. Okay. After finish creating the scaling square, I'm going to this layer panel and I'm going to lock that layer. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to create the circle for the template. To do so, I'm going to come over here to this layer panel. Then I'm going to create a new layer. Press down Option or Alt and come down here. You see this right here, this create new layer icon. Click on 1. This will bring the layer option window. Allows me to put the name on and I'm going to name it circle. Then I'm going to press return enter on the keyboard to confirm. Then after that, I'm going to the ellipse tool, which is by default, it's hide behind the rectangular tool. You just click on that rectangular tool and then you will see the ellipse tool right here. Click on 1 to select, then come back on the page, click 1. This will bring the ellipse window and I'm going to type in 0.5 in and press down the tab key and then type in 0.5 in, select OK to confirm, and here by default the circle is selected. So I'm going to change the fill to about 70% gray. Then I'm going to change the opacity to 70%. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to click on that circle. First of all, make sure your black arrow tool is active. If it's not, just come over here, click on that black arrow or selection tool. Then come back and click on the circle, left click and then drag. You want that circle place it right on to this corner, okay? I'm going to make copies of this circle and then place on every corner of the pages. First of all, make sure you check that the circle have to be on like this corner right there. The center of the circle have to be on the corner, okay? I'm going to press Command or Control on the keyboard and then just zoom out a little bit. Now I'm going to pan over, press down space and then left click. I'm going to make copies of this circle. To do so, I'm going to right here click on this black arrow tool, then my key selects on that circle and I'm going to just hover the mouse over and then press down Option or Alt on your keyboard and then left click and drag. and I want to place that right onto that corner, okay? Okay. Let's zoom in, make sure it is in the corner, and yes it is. I'm going to zoom back out and I'm going to pan over, zoom back out a little more. I'm going to zoom over. So now I'm going to press down Command or Control on your keyboard plus letter D to make more copy. Next, I'm going to make more copies. Just go to the black arrow tool, my key selected and done. Again guys, press down Option or Alt on your keyboard and left click to make more copy. I'm going to press down Command or Control plus letter D to make more copy. Okay, so now we have all the circle onto the artboard, okay? Next, I'm going to group all that circle. To do so, I'm going to just Command or Control A on your keyboard, then Command or Control plus letter G to group them together. After that, I'm going to come over here under Layer panel and I'm going to lock that layer. Step number 4, creating the borders. Again, to create the borders, I'm going to come over here under Layer panel. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to press down Option or Alt, then come over here and press, you see this right here, create new layer icon, click on it. This will bring the layer option window and I'm going to type in borders and press down Return or Enter on your keyboard to confirm. After that, I'm going to, you see this again guys, ellipse tool, click on it to see the rectangular tool and I'm going to select on the rectangular tool. Then come back to the page, click 1 to bring the rectangular window and I'm going to type in 10.69 IN, then type in 15.54 IN. After that, I'm going to press down Return and Enter on the keyboard to confirm. By default, the border is selected. Make sure it has no fill and the stroke is 2 point, and I'm going to align that to the first artboard. To do so, I'm going to just click on it and then come over here to horizontal alignment, and then I'm going to come to vertical alignment. Now the border is aligned to the artboard. Next, I'm going to Command or Control plus letter X to cut. After that, I'm going to edit and then paste on all artboards. Okay, let me zoom out to show you this is the last artboard that's selected. Sorry, the last artboard as well as the last border. Next, I'm going to just pan it down a little bit and zoom out a little more. I'm going to group all that borders together. To do so, I'm going to press down Command or Control plus letter A to select. Then I'm going to Command or Control plus letter G to group them. After that, I'm going to come over here under Layer panel and I'm going to click on this blank space right here to lock it. Step number 5. I'm going to number all the pages from 1 to 30. To do so, again, I'm going to create a new layer. To create a new layer, you press down Option or Alt on your keyboard and come down here. Click on the Create New Layer icon. Then bring this layer option window. I'm going to type in numbers. Then press down Return or Enter on your keyboard to confirm. This time, instead of click on this rectangular or ellipse tool, I'm going to click on the typing tool. Click 1 to select. Come back to the page. Then you click 1 on the page. And I'm going to change the font right here to 120. Then press return enter to confirm. Then I'm going to type in number 1. After that, I'm going to press escape on the keyboard to get out the typing tool, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And again, guys, this is just my preference. I like the number to be like about 1/3 of the page down here from the top. It's up to you guys. You can use the on the center, on the left, on the right, up to you. But I'm going to just adjust the number. If I come over here, I can align horizontal or vertical. I'm going to just do horizontal align center. And I'm going to just click on that text and just drag down just a little bit, about 1/3 down, because I think that's just appropriate for me, but it's up to you guys. So I'm going to, again guys, this is a really awesome command that saves you a lot of time, okay? See right there? While this text is selected, I'm going to Command or Control plus letter X to cut it. Okay. After that, I'm going to see right here, Edit. Then come down here to paste on all our boards. Now, as you can see, all the text appear everywhere on all the artboards. All we need to do is go in and then change the number accordingly. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on until 30. So I'm gonna do that. You have to go back to this typing tool, come back, and then just hover your mouse over that text right there. Make sure it's turned this. If it turned like this means you have to come over here and then hover the typing tool over the number and then change number to 2, 3, 4, 5. You get an idea. Okay, so we just finished numbering the page. I'm going to press down the escape key on the keyboard to get out the typing tool, and I'm going to just zoom out a little bit so we have the visual of the templates. Okay, so after numbering the pages, I'm going to change all the numbers to 70% opacity. To do so, I'm going to just Command or Control A to select all the number and then come to opacity and then change it to 70%. Then press return enter on your keyboard to confirm. Next, I'm going to group all these numbers. Again, Command or Control letter A, and then Command or Control letter G. Then I'm going to come over here and click on this blank space next to this eye icon to lock the layer. So we just finished creating this perfect A3 paper size digital sewing template. I'm going to show you how to save this template for your future use, okay? To save the template, I'm going to File, then Save As. After that, we already named a template A3 PDF sewing template. So I'm going to navigate to where I want to save the template. I'm going to go to my desktop and then here under A3 PDF sewing template, click on it. This is the folder that I want to save the template to. And under Format, I want to save it as Adobe Illustrator, okay? Because Adobe Illustrator allows you to import your e-pattern and then place it on that template, and I will show you how. After selecting the folder that you want to save your template to, and then the format is Adobe Illustrator, now you come down here, click Save. Then after that, this window pop up. Leave everything as default. This is one thing that I want to point out because you want all the pages stay together. You don't want it separate. So make sure that is unchecked just like that. Perfect. Then come down here, click OK. How to load your PDF sewing template. To do so, you can either come over here to open or come over here to file, click on it, then click open. After that, navigate to your file that you saved earlier. In this case, you see right here, A3 PDF sewing template, the one that we saved earlier. Click on it, then come down here, select open. There it is. Next, I'm going to show you how to import your e-pattern, then place it on the digital sewing template. First, I'm going to create a new layer. To create the new layer, press down Option Alt on your keyboard, then come down here to this new layer icon. Click on it. This will bring the layer option window. Then I'm going to name it A-line skirt. Then press down OK. After that, while that layer is selected, I'm going to File and then Place, and I'm going to navigate to the pattern that I have. So this is the claw pattern that I finished earlier. I'm going to click on it to select, then come down here, link checks, and then come over here, click Place. After that, you just click one on the page to place the pattern, okay? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Just go to the zooming tool and then click and drag. And I'm going to adjust the pattern. Okay. Next, I'm going to change the view to show transparency grid, so I have more visual on the pattern and on the pages itself. Okay. So as you can see right here, when I move the pattern over and it hidden all the number and all, you see right there where the line and everything is, make sure to move that layer below every other layers that we create earlier, okay? So I'm going to just click on that layer and then drag down below all the layers that we create earlier. After that, we want to crop away the pattern pieces that we don't need and keep what we need, okay? So based on this template that we have, it's pretty big pages. So I'm going to just crop. You see right here, we don't need 2 pieces of back skirt because we only need 1 piece of back skirt and need 1 piece of front skirt and 1 piece of waistband. So I'm going to just crop away the pieces that we don't want. To do so, while this pattern is selected, I'm going to the cropping tool right here. If somehow you guys don't see the cropping tool, make sure this image is selected. Let's say I'm clicking away, now the cropping tool will disappear. So go to the black arrow tool, click on it, and then come back, click on the image. You will see this cropping tool image appear. If you don't see it up here, you just go to Objects and then come down here. You will see this crop image. You click on it. Then this is the warning window pop up. Cropping a linked file embedded a copy of original. The original file at the link located is not affected. That's perfect. I'm going to click OK. Okay, and if you hover your mouse over that cropping area, you see this 4-headed arrow pop up. You can adjust to however you like. And this is one more cool thing, guys. See right there? If I hover the mouse over here, I get to adjust the cropping area however I like. Just click and then drag to the right to expand, drag to the left to contract, and I'm going to just. You want to save the paper, of course, but at the same time, you want all the pattern pieces cropped in a way that all the pieces in the cropping area, okay? And I'm going to press return or enter on your keyboard to confirm. And adjust to however you like. Okay, so after aligning and cropping the E pattern for your template, as you can see, we have more artboards here that we don't need. We only need 1, 2, 3, 4, total 8 artboards here, okay? I'm going to show you how to remove these pages, okay? First of all, I am going to lock that A-line skirt layer. Then I'm going to click on, you see right here, this is artboard. And as you can see, we have 30 artboards in total and we only need 8. And each artboard comes with number. Let's say number 1 is artboard number 1. As you can see, this highlight kind of darker compared to the one that we're not on. Right there, right there. So you have an idea. We're gonna have to delete this page right here, right here. First of all, I want to delete number 10 to 30. So to do so, come over here, click artboard number 10, press down shift on your keyboard, and then click number 30, then come down here to this delete icon, click on it to delete. After that, now look, you see this dark gray area? That's where the artboard located. This right here, right there, it's a border, it's not artboard, okay? Let me show you. If I hide this border layer, see right there? No artboard. And Adobe Illustrator only print anything that on artboards. So you don't have to worry about this number or this border because only print anything that on the artboards itself. Okay. Next, I'm going to also delete this right here, number 5. Again, come back over here and I'm going to select number 5. Then come down here to this delete icon and click delete. Okay. So after we delete number 5, we want to rename our artboard's number, okay? So let's say, for example, I'm click on number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, then number 5. See, number 5 artboard, it has to name number 5, not number 6. So I'm going to double click on it to name 5, then press the tab key on the keyboard, and then number 7. I'm going to name, to change this 7 match this number, okay? I'm going to change it to 6. Press return, enter, and then click on it, and then name these 2, 7. Then come over here, click on it again, double click on it, then name it to 8. Then press return, enter on your keyboard. So now we just change these artboard. Now it's match 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to just zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to pan over and come over here. Next, I'm going to change this number that we have it earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, to do that, I'm going to this number. click unlock. Just click on that lock to lock or unlock right there. And then you come over here. I'm going to the typing tool. Then, again, make sure you select that layer before it works. And go to the typing tool and then type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then press escape on the keyboard to get out the typing tool. Okay. Again, if it is still confused with this number, I recommend you come over here and click hide this. You see this border layer and then click hide this number layer. And now as you can see, we have total of 8 artboards. Be sure to click that eye icon to show it back. Again, as I mentioned earlier, Adobe Illustrator only prints everything that on the artboard, so you don't have to bother about anything else that not on the artboard. Okay? So after fixing all the artboard and the pattern, now I'm going to save that pattern so I can come back and edit later. Okay? To save this pattern, I'm going to File, then Save As, and then this time, see, instead of template, I'm going to change it to a line. Again, a line, good. And navigate to the folder that you want to save to. Then come down here, Format, still Adobe Illustrator. Again, because in Adobe Illustrator, allow you to go back and edit your pattern. If you want to change your mind or to want to rearrange something, you can do so. So Format, Adobe Illustrator, come down here, select Save. Then leave everything as is. Make sure again that save each artboard to separate file and check, because you want to save all the pattern in one file, and then click OK. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to save that pattern in a PDF format so you can print it from your home computer. Okay, to save this pattern in a PDF sewing format, I'm going to File, Save As, then A-line skirt, PDF sewing, perfect. Navigate to the folder you want to save to, then Format. Instead of Adobe Illustrator, I'm going to select right here Adobe PDF. Okay, then make sure you check all and select Save. Okay, so by default, up here Adobe PDF preset, leave it as is, standard, none. Compatibility is Acrobat 7, 1.6, and down here under option, that's the important part. Okay, if you want to sell this pattern, you have to uncheck this box right here, because you don't want your customer to edit your pattern or change it somehow. And come down here, you want to embedded page thumbnail checks and optimize for fast view check, then view PDF faster saving check, then create acrobat layer from top level layers checks. After that, you come down here, click Save. And here this warning window pop up. Saving this document with preserve Illustrator edit capabilities, uncheck may disable some editing feature, that's what we want. We want the editing feature disabled. Then click OK. Now you have it. We have total of 8 pages, and This is important tips, guys. Make sure you print this PDF pattern in a PDF format, okay? Thanks for watching, guys.